Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality.
This Top 10 intro is brought to you by Vector Star Productions. This is a Top 10 I promised last summer, and it is finally here. I gotta admit, I really didn't find this game to be very challenging, so if some of these stars on this list have their easy moments, that's because they really do have their easy moments. I was originally going to do a top 5 hardest green stars to this list, but I realized that only 2 or 3 were actually hard to get. But without further ado, let's go! This list starts off with the final Bowser fight in the game. This is a somewhat challenging fight to say the least. There's just a lot of stuff that's going on here. One minute you're fighting off some Hammer Bros, and then you're flying via a flower, and then a bunch of bullet bills are squishing you while you try to fly to a warp star with Cloud Mario. If you're patient enough, this level really isn't that hard, but a lot of people aren't that patient. So, this level can be hard. But to be honest, this star isn't very difficult to achieve. The boss battle is really cool, but it's the same old pattern that was done with the previous Bowser battles. It's kind of sad that most of the stars in the game aren't all that difficult, but at least this one is especially spectacular looking, and regardless, all the stars in this game are really fun to complete. The original Gobblegut boss is pretty cool. The design is original, and the fight is even a bit challenging. But then, you get to the fire version of Gobblegut. This is one tough cookie. He's a good warm-up for harder levels ahead. This boss is tricky because it's hard to time when you can actually hit this guy. It seems like whenever you find that opening to punch the purple beads that are surrounding him, which defeats him obviously, he decides to catch on fire. And on top of all that, he leaves trails of fire behind. So not only do you have to dodge his fire, you have to be cautious as of where the remnants of fire are.
Number 8.
Silver coin challenges truly are a challenge. This is the hardest silver coin star in the game, there's no doubt about that. The level itself isn't that challenging, but it's the fact that it was sped up and the star placements are in very challenging spots. If you aren't careful, trying to get to a few of these silver stars will kill you instantly. This star is a pain in the neck. At least the music is pretty catchy. Not that that's relevant or anything.
Number 7.
You know, using that drill item is pretty nifty. This was a concept that was going to originally be implemented into Mario Kart 8. The problem with the drill item is finding out you have to complete a purple coin speedrun challenge using just that item. The gravity changes constantly, and if you waste more than a few seconds or so, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose a life. The only way to successfully complete this star is through trial and error, and figuring out which ways are the fastest. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just very disorienting when the gravity changes so frequently. Sometimes, you need to drill in a certain direction, but if gravity is pulling you the wrong way, you'll be forced to wait for it to pull you to the correct way, and you'll lose tons of time just waiting.
Number 6.
And here we go again with another speedrun star. The star itself isn't that challenging, but when you are given so little time to complete it, it can be very aggravating. One slip or forgetting one timer can cause you to lose. It's really strange that a star from the first level in this game is on this list, but hey, it is what it is.
Number 5.
Oh god, now we're really getting into the challenging stars. If you guys remember the star from Mario Galaxy 1, where you have to destroy all the trash, this is a very similar concept, except for this time it's a lot harder. The goal is to break a buttload of boxes in 20 seconds with only fireballs. But these boxes, man, they're everywhere! You know what I've never understood? Why do we have a time limit? I mean, this gadget guy wants us to destroy these boxes so quickly, and if we don't finish them in time, they come back! Where is the logic in that? That's like saying I have to make 100 pizzas at a pizza store in an hour, but if I only make 83 in that hour, I have to start all over again.
Number 4.
So if a big worm on fire or baby piranha plane on fire as bosses wasn't bad enough, an adult piranha plane on fire is even worse. I will admit that this is a cool galaxy because we get to play all of the Galaxy 1 bosses. The speedrun star for it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the fiery piranha at the very end. This fiery piece of crap is a lot like Fiery Gobblegut. He catches himself on fire at the absolute worst times. At least there are no more bosses to worry about from this point forward, though. Stars on this list really heat up from now on. But you want to know what I don't understand? How is a plant on fire? And how is that happening in space where there's no oxygen? Sometimes, I'm just blown away by the things Nintendo come up with. It makes as much sense as a Frogger dying in the water even though he's a fucking frog.
Number 3.
So with most purple coin challenges, you either have to grab every coin on the stage, or there are like 150 and you have to grab 100 of those coins. This star sticks out like a sore thumb. You have to collect 100 as usual, but there are only 110. You can only miss 10. And trust me, this is much harder than it sounds. It's so hard because we have to balance on that stupid ball, and there are tons of hills and holes in the level. If we go down a hill and miss a whole row of coins, you might as well just start the level over. It's a bunch of bullcrap! This probably wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have to use the stupid motion controls, but we're stuck with them. Stupid Nintendo gimmicks. When will they ever stop creating them? Sure, they're influencing their competition Connect PlayStation Move to make crappier versions, but nobody wants to play a game like this with motion controls.
Number 2.
You know what's insulting? Getting beaten by a blue monkey. With sunglasses. With one piece of green hair on his head. This chimp has challenged us a few times earlier on in this game, but this star in particular is the ultimate challenge. There is pretty much no room for error. You have to score 600 points in 40 seconds, and that's not easy because you have to be a ballerina skater while doing this. If you hit the purple spiky guys, it's pretty much an automatic game over. This star is just very good at pissing me off, but trust me, there is a star that is much, much harder than this. It's so glaringly obvious that obvious of the obvious is obvious. Obviously.
And now the number 1 hardest Mario Galaxy 2 star is...
The perfect freaking run. Do I need to say anything else? I mean, I really shouldn't have to, but I will anyway. I made a whole frustration series about this star years ago. It's very bad memories. It literally took me 200 to 300 tries to beat this star, and that was with the help of a friend. The fact that getting hit just once makes this star nearly impossible, and at the same time, there are no checkpoints. This really sucks because the level is really long, but let me tell you, when you finally beat the level, it is oh so satisfying. After flying around with Yoshi, dodging lasers, avoiding fireballs, and destroying the final 3 Boomerang Bros, the feeling of beating the star is absolutely incredible. That is if you ever manage to do that. You need to build up like muscle memory or something and learn about everything that's going to happen to be able to complete this dastardly challenge. If I may ask, what do you think is the hottest star and why? Leave a comment and share. I'll read as many comments as possible. I don't know where that accent came from, but thanks again for watching and have a great day.
So my guess is that you should be going to sleep or doing something important. But you're not going to do that. You're going to watch one of my top 10s, aren't you? Good procrastinator.